mouse. As long as this comes up properly. On the, do I have a connection? No. Okay. I'm using my Bluetooth controller. I actually A-B'd this on the SNES Classic and on the Switch earlier, and I think I like playing it with the SNES controller a little more. The Switch controller just, I don't know. It's cool, the Pro controller, but it just doesn't, like, I like the way this one sits in my hand. And this isn't even the real SNES controller. This is actually the one they sell at Target. Before 8BitDo even made one. So, yeah, so let's get at this. So let's go into options. And because we're fake gamers, we'll play on beginner. And controls. Shoot B, jump A. Shoot B, jump A. Normally when I play this game, I shoot Y and jump A. I wish it was shoot Y, jump B. They have the reverse of that, where it's jump Y, shoot A. Which doesn't, my brain can't even fathom that. Shoot A, jump B. Yeah, same thing. Like, my thumbs wouldn't work like that. So, this one it is. We'll go 9 again because we're fake gamers. We'll play with 9 lives. And game start. So, you're Arthur. You're hanging out with your blue-haired anime wife. And, uh-oh, there's something coming. Using those Mode 7 graphics. And, oh no. You know, like so many games of this era, we get a stage map, which is so cool. Yeah, so jump, Y, jump, Y. So this was the crossbow, nice. The third or fourth version of this game. There was the arcade version. There was the version on the NES. There was the version on the Master System and the Genesis. And then there's this one, which is likely the best one of them all. The most, especially in a modern sense, the most playable one of them. The others are brutally difficult. And this one, low-key is, too, because there's, as you can see, a lot of slowdown. So you get your armor upgrades. The green looks very nice, but gives you, different weapon, which with the crossbows gives you these, like, heat seekers. I prefer the crossbows a lot because, as you can see, they just whip around to whatever enemies are available to get hit. And just kill them. So I can just kind of stand here and take all that stuff out. Now, that works well when you have wide open space. When you don't, it's not as good, as you'll see later in the level. Let me get some tea. Ooh, this is so good. This, it's orange black tea. And it is really good. And then you upgrade to gold armor, and that's your highest upgrade. Now, each weapon has a different thing that it does if you power up. With the crossbow, it looks for hidden treasure chests, which is, useful. I'm not going to say it's not useful. Some of the weapons don't have the best upgrades. for sure. Some of them kind of look cooler than they actually are. Because, man, was this game cool looking when it came. This was a day one SNES game. And boy, oh boy, did it look cool. And watch this. Boop. That was a nice surprise the first time. Back in Christmas Day, 1991. Yeah, it's really cool. This game has very cool settings. Alright, well, I got what I want, so... And it's like a demo, too, basically, because you have to practice double jumping, you know, you have to practice doing weighted jumps. Okay, we're at the, so we're at the checkpoint. And then those things come down at you, and you got all these spores up here. Yeah, see, here's one of the problems with the heat seekers, is if they miss, they just kind of float around endlessly. So you gotta make sure you're aiming well. And ducking out of that. Yeah, this game was really showing off the Super Nintendo when it came out, for sure. Oh, yeah, this is so good, this too. I need to get more of it. I gotta put it in another order to, Oh, I got hit. So when you get hit, you end up in your undies. But we're at the end of the level, and the end boss isn't too bad. You just spam them. Or you die. I get my tea from Adiago, that website. And then I run everything through my infuser. I used to get everything at Wegmans, but they've stopped having tea during the quarantine for some reason. So, hacker alias Jigsaw X Youth, who might stop by tonight, clued me in on Adiago. Yeah, keep my watch. Alright, we gotta go back and get that chest. But we can't, can we? Not really. Isn't there one right here? Oh, maybe there isn't. I thought there was. Alright, let's not mess this up. How many levels in this game? 8, I think. 7, something like that. But there's a catch at the end that if you'd played the previous games in the series, you'd known, you know, what was going to happen. But there's more than that. Because they swerve you. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I think it's 7 or 8. There we go. See? That's much better. Yeah, 8. I guess, yeah, the end boss is 8. The second part of this level is really hard. Well, actually, I don't know if it's hard, but it's annoying. We don't want the axe. I love this right here. You gotta dodge the ghosts, plus you gotta dodge the, you know, the executioner's axes. Swing of the executioner's axe. Shout out to our recently departed pal, Riley Gale. And, Wade Ellison. Power Trip and Iron Age. There we go. Haunted pirate ships, always a cool level idea back in the day. Like in Castlevania. Actually, in Castlevania 3, it's not, because that level is frustrating as all get out, as Sarah once witnessed in a stream. Where I got just stuck somewhere. Oh, crap. Jeez. Yeah, so it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, the end boss is 8. There we go. Crossbow. That's what I wanted. Oh, right, it's over here. Yeah, so this was a day one game. Yeah, Christmas 91. Um, that my mother picked up. Um, and I was surprised. I was, I'd known about it, but I hadn't asked for it. Um, but, and I remember I was like, well, what made you pick that up? Figuring, oh, maybe they didn't have another game. Because we'd been looking for, we couldn't find Super Castlevania. One of my friends did, though. And she said, I don't know, it looked cool. It looked like something you'd play. And I was like, yeah. So, good. Oh, oops. Good call, Mom. We're not doing well in this game, are we? And, that was a good choice. She was good like that sometimes. The next year, we scooped the neighborhood by picking up Madden 93 when everyone else picked up Madden 92 because they didn't realize that 93 was the first year that it was called for the next year. And so everybody else got just John Madden football. And my mother, very cleverly, was like, oh, well, the 93 one must be the new game. Ah, crap. And she was right. And boy, did we look cool. Oh. Yeah, I mean, I did not like a lot of other things besides video games. Video games and books. So, I got a lot of video games and a lot of books. Aw, damn it. That's right before the checkpoint, too. Yeah, that's a cool weapon. And back then, we used to host Christmas, usually, because our house was kind of in the middle of everyone. And so I would get... Oh, no, 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 no! I would get different games from different, like, couples and stuff like that. But yeah, so Christmas 91 was Super Nintendo, so Super Mario World, Super Mario World, Ghouls and Ghosts, where's the poster? Oh yeah, F-Zero, and then yeah, Castlevania 4, but we couldn't find it because it came out right before Christmas, like a week before Christmas, and I don't know, they couldn't find it. My friend Ben got it though, because in the afternoon we went over to his house for a little while because he called and said, yeah, I got Super Castlevania. So I was like, yeah, I need to see that. And I brought over F-Zero so he could see that. Yeah, he was a cool dude. He was really good at video games. And he wasn't like a jerk about it like some of our other friends were. Or like real weirdos. Christmas Eve was always with my dad and his family. Christmas Day. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Once I started working, I used to do double shifts on Christmas. So I'd hang out with the old folks all day, which was kind of cool in its own little way. People telling intense stories about like World War One and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Alright. It's not. We gotta go like that and then like that. Yeah! Hell yeah, there we go. And that's the end of part 1. In fact, we're gonna save. Prefer work at holidays. Yeah, I in recent years I would go see my parents. And that was fine. Because I would just hang out with my mom, and you know, she'd be like, "Oh, let me show you my Animal Crossing thing," or whatever. And it's usually one of the only times I see my brother all year. Because I usually don't go home for Thanksgiving. I don't like traveling. Oh, that's a cool pause. Just as the lightning hits. I don't like traveling on the holidays. Just like too many people being shitheads. And I'm kind of not into it. Although I usually leave pretty early, so I kind of miss most of the traffic. But yeah, I don't know what we're doing this year without my mom. That is to be determined. I have a feeling my dad might do some traveling over the holidays. Go see some of his relatives. So, whatever. That's fine by me. Yeah, see the crossbow with the flames is like the perfect thing to have for this level. But yeah, F-Zero, Super Castlevania, and then Super Metroid came out right after that, and you know, off we went. SimCity. Oh! Doe. Are we at the halfway point? Oh, no, we weren't. Oh, no shit. Oh, well then... Let's load up with this. Yeah, SimCity came out right then, because I remember Ben got SimCity. And I used to watch him play it, because he was really good at SimCity. And those, like, strategy games in general. Because he played a lot of PC games. Which I only kinda did. And I wasn't playing stuff like that. I was playing more like Shadowgate. Stuff like that. What time is it? 7:34. This is usually about when Sarah shows up. After she's done doing laundry. There we go. So far, so good. No! Damn it. No! Oh wow, yeah, Halo. Yeah, that's awesome on Legendary. That's crazy. Yeah, I've told the story before about being Contra. Me and this kid Chris, when Contra came out, we got to the end, we beat it. Here, I'll pause and I'll recreate it. So he's sitting to the right of me on my bed. In fact, the bed frame I still have to this day. And we get to the end, and there's the end boss, the like body horror thing where you have to like kill its body and all, and its heart. And so he's fighting off the aliens while I shoot it, and we beat it. It blows up, and I went like, yeah, without thinking about it, and I punched him right in the face with the controller. And this hard plastic, and I don't think they make it as hard these days, but those Nintendo controllers, you could kill someone with those things. And oh, he was pretty bruised up a little bit. I remember his parents were pissed. But I was enthusiastic. Oh, I wish these systems allowed for online play. A lot of the reissued games don't have online play, which is too bad. The Genesis one does. The Genesis collection does, but I don't think they allow you to just like pick a friend off like your, like your Switch friend thing or your PlayStation. I think you just have to find somebody online, which is kind of stupid because Sarah and I were talking about we were going to do Streets of Rage 2. And Alien Storm was the other one we were going to do on the Genesis. We were going to do streams where we just like we co-opted it. Like you would in Halo. Oh, speaking of games you like, did you hear that rumor has it there's a realtor listing that's been leaked out for the PS4, Xbox One, and the Switch. Mass Effect Collection, 1 through 3, remastered. That popped up yesterday, I want to say. And I'm gonna, as I did that one semester, I'm going to drop out of life to play Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for 6 hours a day. And if you go on Mass Effect 3, actually now, there are still people who play. I popped on it one day early in quarantine. I was just like, I was on my PS3, so I was like, oh, let me see if anybody's playing Mass Effect, and there were a bunch of I was able to get a whole team. It was awesome. Yeah. That Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was so fun. Because they really messed that up with the Dragon Age one. Like, kind of sucked. And because the Dragon Age one wasn't tied to the game, you'd get like a bunch of people that like had just gotten the game or were like, oh cool, I'll play online, and they would have like no idea what they were doing. You know, if you were playing the Mass Effect online thing, you were probably pretty seasoned on the series. So I don't remember too often having issues with it. On Dragon Age, a couple times I had to get on my mic and just like start screaming at people that were playing not well, let's say. You heard that? Yeah, I really hope it's true. I've been assuming they were going to do something like that. And it makes sense for the PS4, just kind of put it on there. Okay, we're at the end. Alright. Pause again. Save scum yet again. Yeah. Yeah, I still think Mass Effect 2 is the best one of them. But I don't think 3 is as bad as people say it is. And once they fixed the ending, I got the ending I wanted. So I don't know. I thought it was fine. I romanced who I wanted. There we go. Finally. Just took 20 minutes. See, I told you that level was hard. I'd warned everyone last week. There's a chest here, I think. Yeah, well, by the time I got it, too, all the DLCs were out, and I could just play it in whatever order I wanted to. Oh, crap. I got hit with the thing. Now, if you go down here, yeah, that gives you a chest, right? Oh, no, I didn't want... that's okay. yeah, I ended up with, zero issues, really. I mean, there were a couple of goofy things in it, but... But in general, because, yeah, all the DLCs were out, so I did those just, like, in the middle somewhere. Oh, crap. Yeah, this is hard right here. Doe. The rumor says PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. So, I don't think it's going to be for the new consoles. Which makes sense, because you want to sell... If you're going to do a reissue like this, you want to sell it, and if nobody has those new consoles yet, it's not going to sell. I mean, think about, like the Last of Us reissue and stuff like that. That was all on the the other gens. But yeah, if they remastered them, like the first game and even the second game, some of the graphics are kind of rough. I think the third one is a big improvement. If they did something with that, I think that's very promising. And I would enjoy, I think, playing through those games again. Because that was I don't know, when I was playing those games, that was kind of a weird moment. Yeah, I'm holding on to my PS4. I pretty much hold on to every system at this point. The only thing old I've gotten rid of in recent years was my PS1, because I have a PS2, which is backwards compatible completely. So it doesn't, I don't need a PS1. But I have a ton of stuff in my bedroom closet that's not hooked up. And I have some stuff, I have some stuff hooked up in my bedroom too. My Xbox is in my bedroom because I use that to watch stuff. My 360's in the closet. My Wii's in the closet. Yeah, and the PS5 supposedly might be backwards compatible anyway, so it might not matter. Which is what these systems should be. Yeah, I haven't touched my Wii in years because the Wii U was backwards compatible. So once I got that, I was like, okay, whatever. So it's been... No. And, my Xbox... Oh, crap. I forgot those things fell. My Xbox 360 is in my closet. My Xbox One's in the bedroom. And then out here, I have a bookcase full of consoles. So I have PS4, PS3, Switch, PlayStation Classic. My Vita's sitting there. Genesis Mini, the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, SNES and NES Classic, my 3DS. Oh, but rip the 3DS, which went out of production today. I gotta pick up another one of those just to have an extra. My 3DS, my PSP is, I think it's out here. And then on the top, I have a whole ton of game controllers from different systems. And I've got two more spots because I want to get the Neo Geo Mini. I just haven't picked it up yet. The Neo Geo Mini and the Commodore 64 Mini. And then I think I have all of them. Oh, and I have an old Android phone that I use for emulating stuff. And then my PS2's in the closet. I got rid of my PS1 because actually Sarah has my PS1 memory cards. Because I wasn't using them anymore. Is almost anything that I'd want to play on the PS1 or PS2 is available digitally on the PS3. So she needed memory cards, so I gave her mine. Yeah, I am just... Some men have rooms full of sports stuff. I have rooms full of retro stuff. Alright, this dude's... Yeah, you gotta move, man. Yeah, they've been real, wishy-washy. At one point, they were trying to say that it was gonna be backwards compatible. Here, let's save in a second here. I don't feel like doing this again. There we go. Jeez. At one point they were saying, "Oh, it's gonna be backwards compatible all the way to the PS1," and I was like, "Hell yeah, that would friggin' rule." And then it was like, "Well, maybe." And then yeah, it was, "Well, you'll be able to play PS4 games," and so yeah, they got to give some definitive answers. PS3 can play most PS1 games also. There are some it can. There's a big list on Wikipedia of what it can and cannot, but it's like most of them it can play pretty easily. And the PS2, these fucking things were so annoying in the NES version of this game. At least they're kind of big in this one, so you can hit them. But they were small and really fast in the NES one. And don't even get me started about the Sega version. That game is deeply upsetting. Yeah, make everything rotate. Show off those Mode 7 graphics. bats just keep coming. Always with the bats. So annoying. I wonder if Twitch still has saved my anti-bat rant from that one Breath of... Oh, no! From that one Breath of the Wild stream. I was just like, damn bats. Messing up my gameplay all the time. Yeah, these guys that look like Bonk. We played Bonk on stream. Sarah was here for that. I think Stephanie was too, the night we were playing Bonk. On the TurboGrafx. I was actually researching today. I want to do some Atari streams, and so I was going through the most recent Atari collection and trying to figure out like what games or what year. And what I want to do, damn it, is like a games of 1980 or 82 or something like that. Actually, 1980 is a good one to do because you can play like adventure and games like that. But I want to do Atari. Let's save. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what I've streamed on the Xbox. Not a lot. I think we did a Halo stream at some point. We did Super Mega Baseball 2 when that first came out, because I'd gotten a promo code for it on the Xbox. Oh, you know what? I think we streamed on Halloween one year. I think we streamed the version of Symphony of the Night that got reissued on the 360. But yeah, we haven't. I don't know. I don't have a ton of games on the Xbox, so. But yeah, I mean, I could plug it in because basically the way the streams work, and it's on the floor, so I can't show you. But there's just a capture card. I have a Elgato HT60 that is great. Love it. It's a little expensive, but it's really good. And everything just plugs into that. So you plug the one HDMI. The one HDMI goes into your computer. Oh, no, the USB from it goes into the computer. The one HDMI goes into the TV. So I have a port switcher that it goes into on this TV. So it goes into HDMI 1. And then the other one goes out of the system into the capture card. And if you set it up right, you know, it'll just work for most systems. Most systems. The PS4, you have to do a little bit of wiggling. The PS3, there's some extra steps you have to take, unfortunately. Because there's a lot of PlayStation games I'd like to stream, but it's a pain in the ass to do it on the PS3. The Switch is really easy. All the retro consoles are really easy. They just plug right in. I've never had a problem with any of them. I think the Xbox is pretty straightforward too. As far as I remember, it is. But yeah, I mean, it would just be a matter of just bringing the system out here. And the way I have everything set up... So... And I actually showed this off on stream one night. So this is all... Well, I'm playing off of a smaller TV that's in between my two bookshelves. Here, let me pause and try not to talk about this. So my big TV, my 50 whatever inch, is over that way. That's where all the systems usually go. And then I have the bookshelf with the consoles. And in the middle of it, I have a coffee table and a smaller TV. I think this is a 32 inch. And so this system, this TV just has the switcher, and I just plug everything into it. This laptop here sits on a little table, which has like my, you know, my mic, my mouse, all that stuff. And at the end of the stream, I just kind of wrap it all up and put it in the closet for the week. Because it's easy to trip on all this. And the other bookshelf has all my DVDs on it. So everything's just kind of it's just kind of in the middle here. And then I can sit on the rocking chair, which I slide over from the other side of the room. And it's a pretty easy setup for the most part. When we used to do it from the couch, the picture didn't look as good, I don't think. So I think this is way better. Horror themed games for October. Yeah, so starting in October, we're going to play through Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest all month. Which we should be able to get through. I don't see that being too much of a problem. Alright, let's go a little slower here. But yeah, we're gonna, that was a request. We've been playing, in October every year, we've been playing Castlevania games. Or Castlevania-related games. So last year, we played Kid Dracula. We played Symphony of the Night. We might have played we played Super Castlevania, the Japanese version. And we played Castlevania 3, the Japanese version, Akamaju Densetsu. Which is the way, like, not even close, way better version than the American one. Alright, I think I am finally at the end of this very annoying level. Why, yes, I am. And I feel like I can't just do this, but we're going to do it as long as we can. Yeah, because it's going to shoot shit at you. Right. Ah! Damn it! Where'd it go? Also, I feel like this weapon is not the best one for this. Oh, it dodged it. Nice. There we go. Oh, man, this thing is running fast. Oh, jeez. Go back. Alright, we need a better weapon to fight that, for sure. That might be, maybe that's better. It's a little faster. Is that... Yeah. Alright. Good, 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 good. Save scum, please. What about Castle Wolfenstein? Probably not. Probably not. You know, we usually just stick to, in October, we usually just stick to Castlevania games. Yeah, so last year it was, Akamatsu Densetsu, Kid Dracula, which is technically a Castlevania game. Symphony of the Night. What was the other one I said? Oh, and we played the Japanese version of Castlevania 4, which is more or less the same. A little bloodier. Because that was when Nintendo was real frowny about blood and religion. So when Trevor kneels down to pray at the beginning of Castlevania 3, he's definitely not praying, according to Nintendo. Or in, like, Final Fantasy games, when you go to what is definitely a church to revive characters, you're not... Yeah, you're not. No, sir. You're not doing that. Because your characters are just unconscious. They're not dead. Yeah, it's a good one. Ah! Ooh, yes. There we go. Yeah, so the one problem with this weapon is when the enemy's right in front of you. Yeah, crap. I had a feeling I was going to eventually happen. Go back. Go back. Yeah, all those games. I gotta get back to Kid Dracula at some point and try to finish that off. That game's really fun. That game had never officially come to America before. The Castlevania collection that came out. What was that? Last year? Year before? I mean, everybody, you know, played ROMs of it or whatever, but it had never officially come out. It's a really fun, like, platformer. Yeah, those Star Trek games on the SNES, they're not that good. Trust me, I rented them like 19 times trying to play them back then. That's a thing that, man, Star Trek games are so much better these days. Um, oh, crap. Yeah, because you're on the angle. So these guys are, like, in your way. Ah, I see. Yeah, so on the NES, there was a... There was a TOS game and a TNG game. And then on the SNES, I think there was a TOS game, but there was definitely a next gen game, and there was a DS9 game. But I don't know, they're not that good. They're like TV tie-ins, basically. Oh, that's actually oh yeah, that weapon, because that's a quick one. I don't care. We're saving again. A lot of on the Super Nintendo and Genesis, a lot of TV shows got tie-in games that were alternating between repugnant and a word stronger than repugnant. And movies too. A lot of movies had just games that were just like just garbage, basically. Alright, we made it. Alright, pause for a second. Yeah, so, like, Home Improvement had a, a game. And there were some good movie games. Like the Batman game on the Genesis is really good. But the Batman game on the NES, that was a movie tie-in as well, is friggin' hideous. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, see, it's like, it's just too high up. So we dodged it. Good. Got it. Oh, this is the Mode 7 showcase level. Like in Castlevania 4. You'll see in a moment. There must have been a memo that went out and said, show off the fancy new graphics. Oh, jeez. And that's a game over, right? Yeah, okay, but we can continue. Because we're at the beginning of the level, so that's alright. Yeah, TV shows would get games and movies, and a lot of them were, yeah, just not good. You know, they were just cheap tie-ins. Oh, crap. The Batman on the Genesis was really good. A couple of the Teenage Mutant Ninja, a couple of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games were good too. Friggin' Turtles in Time is a really good game. It's like a Streets of Rage knockoff, which is just like, you know, perfect. Do it. Yeah, the Batman game on the Genesis. Oh crap! It has a really good soundtrack too. Like they really got that. They got that Genesis music chip like really moving. Does a really good Greg Stewart's Generation 16 series has a really good episode about oh crap about that game. Yeah, Generation 16 is a great web series. It recovers the Genesis, and the other one for the SNES is Jeremy Parish's Super Nintendo Works series. I am a patron of both. In fact, Greg will be streaming right after me at 9. I have no idea what he's playing tonight, though. That's a good question, actually. Greg was the person who inspired me to do extra life streams. He raises money. He's up in Canada, and he raises money for the local. Wait, which way do I go? Oh, okay. For the local children's hospital up there, the IWK Health Center. They don't call them Children's Hospital of Blank like they do in America. It's the same people, but they call them health centers up in Halifax. And he raises a lot of money every year. And he was the one who originally got me into that a couple of years ago. Oh, jeez. Yeah, this level's hard. This will be year 3 for Extra Life. We're up to 163. In fact, we have another donation that's got to go on the board. We're actually at 172 for the year so far. Yeah, don't even try to kill. Yeah, just go by it, go by it, go by it, go by it, go by it. Yeah, there we go. That's how they do it. Okay, that sucked. At least we got to the checkpoint. We should probably save. But yeah, Greg was the one who got me going with that. My best friend in high school spent a lot of time at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, so near and dear to my heart. I used to... Ah! Damn it. If you think, hey, is all this rocking and rolling across the screen kind of annoying? Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, this was fancy back in 91. This was showing off the Mode 7 graphics, all this tilt and stuff. There's a very similar level in Super Castlevania that does pretty much the same thing, where it like rotates the screen around and all. Yeah, there must have been a memo. Get to show that fancy hardware off, because the thing is that a lot of parents, and you can see videos like of news reports, parents were pissed that there was a Super Nintendo, because their argument is whoa, wait a second, I just bought this kid the Nintendo a couple years ago, and now you're telling me I gotta buy another one for this kid? And that was why Nintendo did the whole, like, now you're playing with superpower thing, to try to push this idea that, well, it's, graphics are better, the processor's better. And yeah, there are, like, reports, you can watch them on YouTube. And parents are like, all these early 90s, like, teased hair, Karens being like, oh my god, like, I can't believe this Nintendo, like, it's exploiting people. And that was still in that era where there was like a lot of anti-Japanese sentiment too, because that's one of the stories of the rise of Nintendo in America, is really flying in the face of, there was so much anti-Japanese sentiment at the time because of all the stuff with the auto industry and TV and stuff like that, where there were people that were like, my kid's not playing some Japanese thing. And then wash, rinse, repeat a few years after the SNES with anime too. Not so much when I got into anime, but when like Pokemon took off in the late 90s, yeah, people were like, oh, it's the Japanese are back at it. Yeah, it was really incredibly stupid. And as a kid, you don't really think about it as like, oh, that's from Japan, other than like, oh, cool, that's from Japan. And that was like a dumb adult thing. And you didn't really know the anime influences on games until a little later. Like, all those early Nintendo powers, all the art in it is like super anime. And like at the time, it was just like, wow, this is really cool art. And it wasn't until you started watching anime, which was, yeah, right about this time, 91, 92, probably. All right, save. Save, hello. Or not, whatever. I was trying to pause. I don't like that these guys are just standing here letting me kick their asses. God, I love those colors. Look at that yellow. That's so good. Yeah, but that was like a big thing at the time, was this idea that, oh, we just bought the kid the system last year, and now you're telling me that there's another one? Yeah, I mean, I was like and then you'd have to like, I mean, my parents just kind of rolled with it, but like other parents, there was, our school nurse, her kid was, I want to say a year older than me, 2 years older than me, and she used to ask me about games all the time. God, I'm such a nerd. Let me pause. Also, shout out to weather in video games. As always, we have to note weather is awesome. She used to ask me about it all the time, and I remember her asking me, like, wait a minute, we just got this thing, and it was like, oh, no, 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 no. This system is going to be, like, amazing. Have you seen Nintendo Power? Have you seen those pictures of Super Mario World? And, yeah, weather in old games. I mean, it's just snow going across the screen, but I'm so into it. Yeah, in new games too. But in old games, man. And Capcom was real good for this. A bunch of Mega Man games have, which is like rain or snow going across the screen. Doesn't really do much except, add some visual ambience. To your game experience. Just gotta kind of get around them. And they don't renew. So just go around them. I feel like there's gonna be a chest if I went up there. And there's not. And just suddenly, inside of a cave, the snow stops because... Sure, why not? Oh, this fucking guy. Got him. Nice. Oh! Ooh. I hope that was the checkpoint. Yes. Excellent. What time is it? 8:27. We got 30 minutes. Oh, that's crazy. It just, like, comes right at you as the game starts up. That is nutty. Is there a chest up there? I thought I saw a chest up there. I do see a chest up there. Nah. Better stick a crossbow. Yeah, it doesn't really add much here, but it's cool looking. Dune. Yeah, I'm actually I'm at dinner listening to the audiobook of Dune. I think it's the whole thing because it's like 35 hours or something like that. I have not read those books. Um, how old am I? Carry the one. 29 years. So, oh crap. Okay, we're gonna go back. Yeah, I was 11, 12. I read them because, someone at school had told me that Patrick Stewart was in the film. So we'd gotten the film, and I'd gone, oh my god, it's Captain Picard. And so I was like, oh, I gotta read these. And it was just about when I was getting into fantasy novels. So it was like, all right, I gotta read these. And yeah, I was 12, 11, something like that. But yeah, I got the audiobook after seeing the trailer. I was like, oh, if we're gonna do Dune again, I should probably read these and remind myself what was going on. Because I only, like, kind of remember. Yeah, I think the audiobook that I got, I think it's, oh, geez. That sucks. I think it's all of them, maybe. It's cool. It's a full, oh, that fucking, oh, that sucks so much. Right there. It's a full, cast recording, which is kind of cool, too. And it's a bunch of people that I've heard, like, other books from, which is cool, too. Bunch of familiar voices. But yeah, I'm like 8 hours in, something like that. I don't know. I wasn't super into the trailer. It looked a little too Game of Thronesy, which isn't really the vibe of Dune. Ah, that sucked. The film with that Patrick Stewart's in, and not a huge role, is pretty good. Actually, the Sci-Fi Channel series they did, um, whenever that was, like 20 years ago or something like that, is actually pretty good, as I recall. Oh, there is a chest here. Oh, look at. Oh, but only. Oh, that sucks. I didn't. That's not what I want. Yeah, I gotta check that stuff out again and rewatch those. I bet there's like cheap DVDs. But yeah, the new thing, I think it's a, I don't know. I mean, Dune gets dark, but like that trailer is like super Game of Thrones gritty ness that, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of the dark and gritty at this point. So I like how that wolf is just kind of... He's doing the head bop thing like he's in the freaking Laugh Olympics. There we go. Green. Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. But I have a certain kind of vision of Dune in my mind that is very, like, lo-fi 1980s sci-fi without, you know, $1 billion budget. I'm actually shocked it took this long to do Dune. I kind of figured after, here, we're gonna save again. I'm sick of going through this. After even, like, Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, I figured, oh, they gotta do Dune. And then, yeah, there's, like, a Sci-Fi Channel, miniseries that's... Oh, come on. We are not doing that. I refuse to have that happen again. That is pretty good. And yeah, there's the movie from the 80s that, man, that used to be on TV all the time. Yeah, and that was probably where a lot of people in America... Jeez. Yeah, David Lynch. Yep. Yep. That was probably where a lot of people in America first saw Patrick Stewart. Either that or I, Claudius was the other one. That, God, you were such a nerd in your middle school if you were like, well, I saw Patrick Stewart in I, Claudius. Yeah, you were like a super geek. If you even knew what I, Claudius was. Or Dune. Yeah, let's not bullshit here. Dune 2. Okay. Oh, okay, so you can get up there. Alright. Here comes another snow thing. So we'll hide out. Yeah, in X-Men, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so Star Trek, and then, yeah, Dune and and I, Claudius. Oh, this enemy's so cool looking. Look at that. Dude looks like he's in a freaking Diablo game. Aw, boo. Yeah, yeah. Ice Demon. Very cool. Yeah, so Dune and I, Claudius. And then, because I was a super nerd. Oh, hey, he's in this, like, BBC adaptation on PBS of, you know, 12th Night or whatever. And then, yeah, I mean, X-Men. Yeah, well, that was the thing with X-Men, was all through the 90s, there was all this talk about, oh, they're going to make an X-Men movie, they're going to make an X-Men movie. And there was the cartoon in the early 90s that is super weird. Worth watching, but it's just... it gets weird as it goes on. Yeah, can you hop up there? Yeah, look at that. There were all these rumors about, oh, they're gonna make an X-Men movie, they're gonna make an X-Men movie, and then they made that, like, crappy, Fantastic Four movie, and it was weird. There were other superheroes that got movies, but not the X-Men. And then finally it was like, but the whole time it was like, well, if they're going to make an X-Men movie, Patrick Stewart has to play Professor Xavier. Like, I can't imagine someone else. I mean, especially like the cartoon, like, very clearly wants you to think about, like, the way the character looks. They want you to think about Patrick Stewart. Or, like, Captain Picard. There we go. And so then finally it was like, oh, it's going to be Patrick Stewart. And it was like, yeah, that's what we thought. Like, I can't imagine them doing that with anybody else. That would have been crazy. The Picard show, it's okay. Good to see him again. Good to see 7 of 9, since Jerry Ryan is smoking hot these days. Clearly hitting the gym. I have no idea why some of those characters are in that show. I'm very confused. Why her? But sure, yeah, Jerry Ryan is smoking hot, so sure, why not? It doesn't feel like Star Trek to me, in that same way that the new films, don't either. The Picard show actually feels very influenced by Mass Effect. And I feel like there's a lot of sci-fi shows these days, like The Expanse is another one, that are like, what if we did Mass Effect as a TV show? And I think particularly the first like 3 or 4 Picard episodes are like, yeah, basically like, what would a Mass Effect TV series look like? Like, Picard is Shepard, basically. And that's interesting, but I don't know, it's not really Star Trek? So, I don't know. And I don't want to be like a grumpy pants about it, because I've been accused of being a grumpy pants about this. But, I mean, it's fine. But I definitely kind of... scratched my head a little bit. And, nice to see Riker and Troy again, even though Marina Sirtis is super annoying on Twitter. Nice to see them again. Would have rather have seen Michael Dorn, who's cool, and actually Michelle Forbes, my favorite Bajoran, who's an awesome person on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's just kind of, yeah, it feels very, yeah, it's very Mass Effect-y. It's very Mass Effect. I think a lot of sci-fi shows in the last few years, like The Expanse is one of them. That show's actually pretty good. There's a bunch of shows like that, yeah, like, clearly these writers spent their 20s playing BioWare games. Like, because that's just how they, like, come off. And it's... Actually, the one that... And there's been some talk about a reboot, although we just did this, like, 10 years ago, so... Whatever. But the one that I'd be interested in that regard would be Battlestar Galactica. which that series is fine until it's not. But if they redid that in that like aesthetic that Picard has, where yeah, like you turn Starbuck into Shepard basically, and Shepard's kind of low key like Starbuck, but like you do that, and I think that would work. I think it would be really cool. But yeah, there's been talk about doing another version of that because I think there's like I think apparently the reason why this Picard show happened even was there's some like weird rights issues with Star Trek shows where they have to make new stuff to retain like the intellectual property for Paramount. That's kind of the conspiracy theory. So, and Battlestar is a Universal show because that was on Sci-Fi, and actually it's on Peacock because I have Peacock now because they've dumped all the Premier League games on it. Actually, I get it for free with Comcast. Actually, with Comcast, I actually get that and the HBO Max. They gave me a free subscription to that too, which is kind of cool. There's a lot of cool movies on HBO Max, but I was thinking of doing a run through Battlestar at least until it gets to like the shitty parts again, because I haven't really watched it since it originally aired. I don't. I have. Let me think. I have the miniseries on DVD, and I have the movie with Michelle Forbes in it because I love her. She's amazing. I have that, but I don't have the rest. But yeah, it's on Peacock. Because it was on Hulu a couple years ago. And then I was actually gonna, one winter break, I was gonna watch it. I remember running into it in my recommendations. I was like, yeah, over winter break, I'll watch like an episode a day. Sounds good. And then it just like disappeared right after that. So I never did it. But yeah, it's on Peacock. So I'll check that out at some point here. But yeah, I just have the first part. I'm sure the DVD sets are cheap. I should just buy it. Oh, this weapon sucks. Please give me another weapon. Yes, thank you. I will take that. Yeah, I saw that. That it's not on the Roku. That sucks. For sure. I don't I don't think it's on the Amazon thing either. I have it on I just use it on my PS4. And if I'm in the bedroom, I just use my I just stream it with my Chromecast. I just have the, the Chromecast dongle that I'll use. Okay, well, I can't move on here until you stick your head out. Come on. Yeah, there was something else that wasn't on the Roku. Cause I I have a Roku in the bedroom, and there was something else I was looking for. Oh, Twitch isn't on the Roku either. Which just like, I don't know. That seems like a real like weird thing to not have. Yeah. But yeah, HBO Max is great. There's a lot of cool films on it. All the Studio Ghibli stuff's on it. Which I have some of those on DVD, but not all of them. And there's some I haven't seen. And there's some I haven't seen in a really long time. Like, I need to rewatch Kiki's Delivery Service, because I have not seen that in a significant amount of time. Like, I was like a teenager, I think. And, of course, Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, which I was going to stream on campus for Earth Day until we had to go and have a pandemic. Because that film is about climate change, kind of. Close enough. But yeah, they got the Ghibli stuff on there. There's a bunch of Adult Swim stuff. That's why you watch Eraserhead. Yeah, Eraserhead's really good. Yeah. I watched Twin Peaks opening night. My mother was obsessed with that show. So... And that was like such a out of context thing for her to like really get into. But she did. Alright. These guys suck so much. Yeah, die. Please die. Ah, crap. Freaking slow down! No! Ah! So much slow down. Not good. There's one too many things going on the screen. And it sucks. Okay. No! Damn it. There's a lot of, there's this whole section of, like, 70s French animation on HBO Go, too. Or HBO Max. That I was watching, there were a couple films there that, like, I've always heard about, but had never seen, that I was checking out. God, 70s French animation is so beautiful. It is just wonderful, wonderful stuff. And I actually got turned on to all that stuff as a kid because Nickelodeon used to show all those 70s French cartoons like Mysterious Cities of Gold and Ulysses 33. And there's just like, it just has like such a cool aesthetic to it. They were like French, but also Canadian somehow. Alright, so we gotta let... Yeah, we gotta let you come down to us. And then you too. Come on. What time is it? 55? Yeah, we're not gonna get past this level. I got to the boss the first time through in this level. Now I can't get through it again. Jeez. Alright, I think that's it. We'll try one more time. Yeah, so the Mario 3D reissues come out in 4 minutes. 9 p.m. is when stuff I think that's when stuff drops on the Switch. So yeah, so we're gonna play Mario 64 next week. I don't know, people seem to be down on this, these reissues, because it looks like Nintendo didn't do much for them. They're just kind of ROMs, which is funny, given how, like, how they're, like, always going after ROM sites. But apparently, this 3D collection is just running in Dolphin, which is, like, one of the big emulators. So that's, like, kind of funny that, you know, they're always going after emulation sites, but, like, they'll just, like, be like, yeah, whatever, here's a ROM of this game, give us $30. But I'm happy to do it because N64 games are actually kind of hard to recreate. And I'm sure this is the beginning of them wading their toes into an N64 Mini, which I'm sure is eventually going to be on its way. Yeah. At some point. You know what? I'm just gonna keep walking up, and you won't let me, will you? Alright. Fine. Kill me. Yeah, so we're gonna play Mario 64 next week. Yeah, I haven't played it much since it first came out. A little bit. But it's never been collected before. As far as I actually know, you know what? It was, they ported it to, is either the Game Boy Advance or the DS. But yeah, I have a feeling this is them wading their toes into either an N64 Mini or on the Switch Online thing, they'll start putting N64 games on it. Which, I mean, fine by me. And then Sunshine and Galaxy are also on it, which I have never played. I've never played either of those games. Actually, no, I played Galaxy like once. But Sunshine was on the GameCube, and I never owned a GameCube. The only GameCube game I've ever played is Animal Crossing. And that was the person I was dating when that game came out was obsessed with Animal Crossing. It was all she would talk about. And the big thing I always remember is like, yeah, I have to go on every day because if you don't go on, your your villagers get mad at you. And I was just like, what the hell, really? And yeah, but yeah, no, she was just like obsessed with it. She owned the GameCube. She didn't own any other games. All she played was Animal Crossing. And so yeah, but that was it. But yeah, we'll play Mario 64 uh next week, and then I forget what's the week after that. And then we're gonna be heading towards October, where we're gonna play Simon's Quest. And over 4 weeks, we should be able to get through. Simon's Quest isn't a super long game, so I'm gonna download a guide, and we should be able to just like, just knock it out, hopefully. And then we'll get to November, and then it's Extra Lifetime. And then after that, we'll see. Yeah, I just didn't own I didn't own a GameCube because I had, by then it was PS2, and I had a Game Boy Advance because that thing was a friggin' RPG machine. And yeah, PS2. PS2 was the big one that I played in that era. PS2 was another RPG machine. And PS1, I played a lot of PS1 games on my PS2 because my PS1 broke. That was why I bought a PS2. I didn't buy a PS2 right away. In fact, I was actually thinking about this in the last couple of days as everybody's been talking about, are you going to buy the PS4, the PS5, and the Xbox? And I'm probably not gonna right away because last round I did. I got my PS4 day one. My PS4 that's sitting here is a day one PS4, and there were like no games for it for a long time. There was FIFA. There was an Assassin's Creed game, and then there was just like nothing. There was this RPG called Bound by Flame that was really horrible, that Sarah and I used to joke about that game because it had like horrific anime boob armor that was just like really, a couple characters had like really inappropriate boob armor. And but there was like nothing basically for a long months. So it really felt like, why did I go out and really do? Why did I do that? Why did I invest in this? Versus the Switch, which had a bunch of games right away. Breath of the Wild was day one. There were some good indie games. The Blaster Master remake was right away. The Disgaea remake, Stardew Valley. So there was like already stuff to play, like right away on the Switch. But the PS4 there wasn't, and for the PS5, yeah, I mean there's the Spider-Man game and that Turf Ladies open world game, but otherwise like there really isn't much, at least yet. Now, if they confirm the backwards compatibility and are like, oh yeah, you can play like back to even if it was back to like PS3, like okay, fine, I'll buy it. But I need to hear about that before I invest in another console here. Without it, or the other thing that I think would get me to buy it too, and I haven't heard anything about this, would be if they were like, oh, it's not backwards compatible, but like the PS3, you can buy digitally all the old games, and then I'd be like, yeah, all right, I'm on board, because that's why my PS3 is still in the living room, because I have all these PS1 games digitally on it, all these like RPGs, and I mean that's why my Vita's out here too, because they're all on there too. Yeah, the backwards compatibility thing is big. I mean, that was one of the reasons why a lot of my friends bought an Xbox One, because they could play 360 games on it, and the 360 had a lot of retro stuff, so you could play like the Symphony of the Night reissue that was only on the 360, and now there's a PS4 reissue of Symphony of the Night now, but at the time that was the only way you could play that game on a modern console. Well, there's a version on the Vita, sort of, but and Cynthia the Night is low key top 10 game ever. And that Castlevania Requiem collection on the PS4 also has Rondo of Blood, which is a really good game too. But it's worth it just for Cynthia the Night. We streamed that it was last year, because I was playing a lot of that last summer. I was playing tons of that game. Yeah, that game is amazing. Even the things I don't like about it are kind of like still like I understand why they're like that. Hi, Puzzle. Oh, what's with the little meeps? Those are little tiny meeps. You were so vocal this morning when I was trying to teach. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here too. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we'll play some Mario 64 next week. That should be fun. I'm probably not gonna touch it until then. I mean, I'll download it, but I probably won't play it, so we can kind of like do like a first playthrough. So, all right. Thanks everybody else who stopped by. I know there were some people kind of in and out all night. So, all right. Off we go. Where's my mouse?